A plane with astronauts is landing at the Baikonur airport. A special arriving area was organized for welcomers and journalists near the airstrip. This area is restricted for those who didn't pass the special security check. Security rules are strict here. The crew is always arriving 14 days before the liftoff. These 2 weeks before the spacecraft will blast into space are the most important days of the mission training program. Any little mistake can put to rest several months of preparation at this crucial stage. General Officer, sir, crew is reporting in for the pre-launch training. Oh, look at you all amped up. Only specialists that take part in the pre-launch training are allowed to interact with the crew from the moment of its arrival. The distance from anybody else must be about 10 feet. That's the way they have to communicate. Hooray! Keep yourself warm. Good luck. Thank you. Thank you. Half an hour goes by and another plane lands on the airfield. It came from the Cosmonaut Training Center as well, carrying the backup crew board. Members of this crew are like substitutes in a sports game. If there was an emergency, they are ready to replace any member of the starting crew. These two crews take different planes and drive through Baikonur in separate buses. There are only 2 units of this kind of bus in the world. They are made by the special order of the Cosmonaut Training Center and have worked at Baikonur for almost 30 years. They only differ in plate number, color, and transported individuals inside. The first one is for the main crew, and the second is for the subs. Each one has a horseshoe on it, for good luck. That's the way these vehicles were delivered from the factory. We've got an air conditioning system here and 2 rows of 4 seats. A regular bus would have more seats, right? And here we have, for the crew. Also, it has better sound insulation. You almost can't hear the engine. See for yourself. Very comfortable. These air ventilation and thermal control systems will be used by the crew while traveling to the launch pad in spacesuits. It's sterile inside the bus. This area is restricted for authorized personnel only. That's why we had to shoot this footage before the crew arrived at the Cosmodrome. While the crew was resting in the quarters, the spaceship is still being prepared for the launch at the assembly and testing facility. The spacecraft itself is being delivered to Baikonur a couple of months before the launch. Spacesuits are delivered beforehand as well to carve out some time for error checking and corrections. Starting readings 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Left chair operator rates connection quality as stable. There's an emergency headset on board. The crew probably won't be needing it, but everything must be checked. After connection tests, all medical hardware is coming up for check. During the mission, different kinds of sensors and devices send intel about astronauts' condition from the ISS to the MCC. At the end of the day, the engineers conclude no errors, everything is in normal condition. Everything here is planned, down to the last minute. Tomorrow we have to finish lining up all the video equipment and special devices in the capsule. The day after tomorrow, we will fill the gas mixture supply system with oxygen. Well, from then on, our facility puts everything in order for the crew pre-launch training. First pre-launch training activity proceeds 12 days before liftoff. It is called the fit check of the spaceship. Crew members arrive at the assembly and testing facility and put on the spacesuit, the same they'll be wearing during the mission. We're just going to have a look at the cargo placement. That's it. Stowing will be done at the second fit check. The ship's still empty. What do I have here? Oh, it's hoses. Every crew member has his own allotted seat, made by reference to personal anatomic features. At the fit check, astronauts check their durability one more time. The absence of remarks means it's time to get down to business. Okay, are you ready? I'm taking a picture. Thank you. Hey, where's your smile? During the first fit check, mission commander and onboard engineers study the Soyuz onboard documentation and test communication and navigation sets. Also, they check contents of the equipment and cargo they are about to deliver to the station. If something is wrong, it gets fixed.
It can be okay for anyone, but not for me. The more you sweat in training, the less you bleed in war.
The next morning, after taking some rest after the fit check, the crew leaves its quarters for the official ceremony. It is an old Baikonur tradition. Astronauts make the colors of countries taking part in the international man-rated liftoff. After the official part, journalists get a couple of minutes for flash interviews.
Most of the questions go to the main newsmaker and trailblazer, Mikhail Kornienko.
This is not your first flight. However, this time it's going to last a full year. Does it feel different? A lot different. But I'm sure that everything will be all right. We've got a great crew and we are fully prepared for this mission, both psychologically and physically. It will be hard, of course. There's no denying that. But we can do this. The pre-launch party of the training is quite concealed because of the medical observation the crew is under. But there is more than meets the eye. These days are quite busy. No one is allowed at the crew quarters. For the whole 2 weeks, crew members and everyone who works with them live in a closed environment, only getting out for the cosmodrome tests. To prepare an astronaut, it takes years and years of training. Imagine if he would get sick just before the launch, even if it would be a simple case of ARVI. That's how problems begin. To replace the crew member at this stage, consequences could be disastrous. For what it's worth, there's always time for exceptions. On media day, a week before the start, press gets a couple of hours with the crew. But first, everyone should be checked by the STS epidemiologist. There will be no warnings. You'll get kicked out. Remember the classics. You move, and you're dead. Almost. Are we clear? This is my key requirement. Physical exercise and special drills are very important for the crew. Gennady Padalka and Mikhail Kornienko exercising on the special fracture table. Setting up at 45 degrees. Under zero gravity, the blood goes to the head, so this body position helps prepare for this better. Keep your head straight. Here, astronaut Scott Kelly is training his vestibular system. Open your eyes now. After these challenges, the crew members have some spare time. They play sports. They will miss these feelings in outer space. The ISS has lots of exercise devices, but their physical exercise is not a hobby, it is a vital necessity. Being an astronaut is a great type of sport itself. In training, in regular life, even at the station, I do 2.5 hours of physical exercises every day. Meanwhile, the spaceship preparations are still in process. After being filled up with fuel and pressured gas, Soyuz keeps waiting for more final actions. A week before the liftoff, specialists from the rocket corporation Energia and Space Center Yuzhny carry out a thorough inspection of the craft and install the nose cone. In order to do this, Soyuz is being put on its side. Everything is being measured and checked according to blueprints and setups. Only after that, the final procedure occurs. Petrovich, all ready? Ready. Let's go. That's how the spaceship will go through the final fit check. The crew members check if their remarks were sufficiently answered. Gennady Podelka, Mikhail Kornienko, and Scott Kelly approved the spaceship condition. Next time, they will see the ship only at the launch pad. The forthcoming stage of the pre-launch prep is the final assembly of the rocket and the Soyuz. The ascent unit, the emergency escape system, and 3 other stages become a united body. After all these procedures, the National Commission decides if the carrier rocket is ready to be transferred to the launch pad. Time of the transport depends on the time of the liftoff, but nearly always it happens at the crack of dawn. Quite possibly, it's for the looks. The process of transport is traditionally being watched by a numerous audience of journalists, special guests, and the maintenance crew. Public order is being kept by the police forces and the cosmodrome security. Allowed movement, speed around, and launch pad is 3 miles per hour. The time of cosmic speed rates hasn't come yet. Cargo with supplies must be delivered safe and sound. More than 500 people work hard to provide the liftoff. All the necessary preparations are being carried out in one day. However, according to the rules, the service crew always have a spare day for emergencies. The flight crew spends this extra day at the quarters. They can't arrive at the launch pad early and have to communicate with the outer world through the glass because of the observation procedure. On behalf of the people gathered here, I wish you a good liftoff and best of luck.
I'm allowed a little closer communication as a relative, but we still go through medical checkup, bacterial cleansing, and we still keep a distance. Of course, I feel the urge to hold him, at least to hold hands, but I keep myself away. Restricted means restricted.
The day of silence, as they call it, starts 24 hours before liftoff. Astronauts are resting till the evening. But 6 hours before launch, they go out to leave their signatures on the door and catch a ride to the launch pad. Mikhail Kornienko, I got it. For many years, the crew gets into the special purpose bus accompanied by this song. Although this crew is still quite special, not every crew is being seen off by such a big crowd. Of course, this farewell will not be without tears of relatives. Next time they will see each other only in a year. Let's go. Long the farewell, bitter the tears. First couple of hours on the launch pad are pretty slow. All the standard procedures and checkups are made and astronauts get into their spacesuits. The crew members are utterly serious and stiff. The important and long-awaited event is ahead. Do we have some water on the table? Where? Under the table, is it there? Oh, not there. Okay, would someone get me a glass of water then? Me too. National Commission Chairman, sir. The Soyuz TMA 16M crew reporting in for the mission. Mission Commander Gennady Padalka. Good luck. Prepare for liftoff. Prepare for liftoff. Standing by. Good luck. Good luck. Bye. Woo! Take care, my friend. Take care. Arrived at the launch pad, the mission commander is reporting in once more. Roscosmos Commander, sir. The Soyuz TMA 16M crew reporting in and ready for liftoff and the mission. Final memento photos are taken, and the crew is heading for the rocket. All right, here we go. The crew gets in the special elevator and goes up to the ship exactly 122 minutes before the start. Everything is ready for liftoff. Unit 53, are you watching me? Yeah, quality is good. What camera are you looking at? Oh, the one in front of you. The crew members check all the systems and the leak integrity of their suits. Medical staff control physical condition of the crew in real time. These 2 hours are the most dramatic. Psychological support tries to make the crew relax by turning on some music. The atmosphere on the launch pad is not so relaxing. Every service here is in full readiness. Launch specialists took their places in special bunkers long ago. It's time for the final countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. Fire engines. Onboard power. Roger. Ready to start. Ignition. Oxygen. Ignition preliminary. Liftoff confirmed. Here we go. The longest ISS mission to ever have started. A little more than 9 minutes and Soyuz will be in outer space. Roger, JK3. Congratulations on successful injection. Switching controls to the Moscow Mission Control Center. Onboard zero gravity indicator starts floating around. The crew now has 6 hours of flight to the ISS ahead. What lays ahead? How are the first days in zero gravity going? And what kind of treats will Mikhail Kornienko get at the ISS on his 55th birthday? Just keep watching, and you'll see all this and much more.
A year in space has just started.
Almost everything you'll see in this series was filmed aboard the International Space Station. At the end of March, Mikhail Kornienko, a flight engineer decorated with the Hero of the Russian Federation title, went there on a 342-day mission. The world history of space exploration hasn't seen long-term expeditions like that for 20 years. From the very first weeks of his space adventure, the Russian astronaut has been making videos about the workings of the station. Now you have a unique opportunity to be the first one to see rare scenes from space. You will get an insight into the life and operation of the ISS, the most unusual science laboratory ever created by humans. Dear friends, I'm really glad to see you again. I'm going to take you now on a small tour around the station and give you some comments and explanations. Journalists often call our station a home in space. And it is true. I'd like to show you the rooms of our home, the things we do here, and the equipment we have, the general setup of our station. I hope you'll like it. Five years have passed since Mikhail Kornienko's first mission. The orbital complex has changed since then. New equipment was delivered into space. More opportunities for scientific experiments were made available. Work on the station became more interesting, and life more comfortable. Let's start from my quarters, dear friends. In Earth terms, it's located on the ceiling of the station in the module of our American colleagues, No. 2. Apart from being my bedroom, it's also my office.
I guess it's an office more than anything else, because I sleep here according to our internal schedule.
From 10 p.m. till 6 a.m. Here's a sleeping bag of a nice light green color. We come here, get inside the sleeping bag, and zip it up. We sleep in the bag so that we won't be floating around. It's very cozy and comfortable. Here I have two computers that I can use to communicate with the ground and to check my schedule for the day. I also have internet access. So I have everything I need to live, work, and relax properly. I can watch movies, I can even call my family and friends when I'm in the reception zone and I have some free time. So this is my personal nook, nice and cozy. I guess every astronaut should have a place where he can spend some time by himself, sort out his personal stuff and talk to his family. And of course, do some work. Here I have my personal belongings. These are my family photos, my parents, my mom and dad, a small icon, my wife, my grandson. This is my home away from home. Almost all year round, the ISS is inhabited by an international crew of 6. The station has Russian and American segments.
The American one also includes laboratory modules that belong to European and Japanese space agencies.
Their ascent to orbit completed the construction of the U.S. sector of the space station. The Russian sector, however, is still being built. One more research module and a remote manipulator system have yet to come. Let's start our tour with the Japanese module, GEM. It's also called Kibo. I'm going to talk about the equipment we have here and its purpose. At the moment, no work is being done here. So I'm just going to show you this amazing lab where a lot of very interesting and valuable experiments are carried out
for the benefit of humanity and earth sciences as a whole.
The Japanese module basically consists of two parts. Here you can see the first one of them, JLP. This module, JLP, is used for storage purposes. It has all sorts of cargo in it. This is the hatch of the JLP module, which we are supposed to close in case of emergency decompression. It can be sealed very fast. Okay, let's continue. Right now we are looking at the pressurized module of the GEM. It has two windows and a big platform attached to it from the outside. The platform allows us to expose different kinds of experimental specimens that we put there with a robotic arm. This is the robotic control workstation. The remote manipulator system is a very complex piece of machinery that reminds you a little bit of a human arm with a hand, an elbow, and a shoulder. And it's quite difficult to manipulate. But there's an option of automatic control, meaning the ground can send a program for this arm to execute. This is how this experiment module looks from the outside. Today, it's the biggest one on the ISS. Although there's no Japanese representative on the station now, the module is in operation. Some researches are being conducted here that do not require the presence of astronauts. This is a Russian experiment called Matryoshka. It's like a Russian nesting doll. It's aimed to study the radiation dose that an astronaut is exposed to during his mission. This sphere is imitating a human body. It has dosimeters inside that we take out before leaving and bring back with us to Earth. Then scientists check out the cumulative dose of radiation. The properties of the materials correspond to those of a human body. The entire control of the station is performed via laptops. Here, you can see a work laptop with the connection zones marked on it. The green squares mean full connectivity. Sadly, we are not in that zone all the time. But most of the time, about 70% of the 90 minutes revolution around the Earth, we do have connectivity.
Связная зона у нас есть.
Hello, nice to hear you. When the space station is in the area of reliable coverage, it can be both heard and seen. The Russian Mission Control Center has video conferences with astronauts several times a month. Usually they happen on the occasion of some holiday, a visit from journalists, or a tour for school and university students. Every now and then, a visual contact with the crew is required for solving some pressing issues. But routine work stuff is discussed via audio channels. Ground controls work around the clock. A very important part of this work is planning of different operations aboard the station. The timeline ranges from 5 years for top-level plans to a tenth of a second in the case of work plans for the operatives on shift.
The crew of the space station also follows a detailed schedule. Experiments, sport practices, video and photo shoots, recreation, everything has its own time.
But no matter how much work is on hand, there is always room for family time. Ground controllers have a good understanding of its essential role for the psychological wellness of the astronauts. Very few are lucky to celebrate 2 round-number birthdays in orbit. I'm not showing off, I'm just stating a fact. On my last mission, I turned 50. Now it's 5ers all around. I'm 55. I'm getting ready to talk with my family and friends. I guess they will drink a glass of champagne to my health. But at the station, we have no alcohol whatsoever. The rules in that regard are very strict. Hi.
Hello, come on in, over here.
Well, we can't get over there.
That's our place. Ira, where can I put my clothes?
Over there.
Everything is over there. Yeah, I'm scrolling down. 20, 57, 57, 3. Okay. I've got the hash symbol here again. Kostya, I ruined everything. I don't know. I need to close it somehow. Is anyone here computer savvy?
Astronauts call their family on their landline and cell phones every day, but they can't receive calls on the station. Once a week, they get to have a video conference with their family.
In old times, it meant going to the Mission Control Center in the Moscow suburb of Karlov.
Today, talking is possible right out of your apartment. Happy birthday! Happy birthday! To our good friend, like in Moscow, at the Red Square Parade. 2 short ones and 1 long one. Happy birthday! Jeep, Jeep! Hurrah, hurrah, hurrah! Thank you so much, my friends. The American Dragon spacecraft is docked right at the entrance, or at the exit, depending on how you look at it, of the GEM module. It arrived here several days ago with a load of various cargoes. That's why it's a bit messy here now. Part of this cargo is stored in the multi-purpose PMM module. Part is stored in the GEM module. And some cargo is in the Columbus module, where we are heading to right now. The Columbus module of the European Space Agency. All in all, it's also a big laboratory, and everything here is covered with laptops and cameras. I'd like to single out this payload rack here. It's a science rack, like the rest of them. It can dispense different gases or create a vacuum for all sorts of scientific experiments. Here you can see the Space Portable Fire Extinguisher, PFE, and a portable breathing apparatus, a mask with a small oxygen tank. It has the operating capacity of 7 to 10 minutes. At the end of this period, it has to be hooked up to an oxygen port. All of this is the Columbus module. There is a clear sign of a girl living here. At the moment, the master of this place is Samantha Cristoforetti. She's the commander of this module. Samantha Cristoforetti has already returned to Earth by now.
With almost 200 days aboard the ISS, she broke the record for the longest space mission by a woman.
Hello.
The American segment of the International Station comprises several modules, some of which have been in space for almost 2 decades. For example, the Unity module, also known as Node 1, has been orbiting the Earth since December 1998. Here we have something of a recreation area. This is the dinner table. Sometimes on Fridays or Saturdays, we gather here for a meal. But usually, everyone has their breakfast, lunch, and dinner in their own segment, because lunchtime and dinner time are often not synchronized. This is the Node 1 projector. This allows us to watch movies and different TV programs on a big screen. Every compartment of the station has its purpose, but because of the limited space on the ISS, a module can become multifunctional. The Node 3 is busy with work. Our American colleagues are performing an experiment that requires moving some payload around. Our expedition commander, Terry, is moving the so-called crew transfer bags that house the equipment for experiments. This module is also our gym. Also, this is where our colleagues take care of their personal hygiene in the morning. But I think we're going to cover this subject better in the following programs. Terry, thank you. You are welcome. On behalf of our viewers, no problem. No problem, Terry. The treadmill is also located here. Like I said, this module is a small gym. There's a special harness that is placed on astronaut's shoulders to give him some weight in a microgravity environment. And this is the computer that is used to control the T2 treadmill that I showed you already. Everyone has his personal profile. See, Samantha, me, you select your profile, set the parameters of your workout, and run. 5 kilometers, 6 kilometers, whatever the distance you've been assigned. Right now, Samantha, we visited her quarters already, is working out on the ARED weightlifting machine. It's a very complex system. At the same time, it's very efficient and comfortable. It allows you to exercise all major muscle groups. Amazing machine. Samantha, say something to our viewers. Thank you, Samantha.
Thank you.
Mikhail is trying not to bother other crew members, so he's filming most of the modules when they are empty. This is yet another American module, the airlock. It was designed to host spacewalks, and indeed here we have 2 spacesuits. And now we come to our sanitary facilities, a space toilet. Its operating principle is similar to that of a vacuum cleaner. I want to point out that it was designed by Russian scientists. It has a very good track record, having been used for many years on the Mir station, on the Salute station, and now on the ISS. There are 2 toilets like this on our station. And finally, the American storage module PMM. It's being used to store various payloads. I'm going to show you how big it is. If you were to fly past the station, you'd say this module is located on its bottom. It's kind of like a cave to give you a more vivid picture. And I keep drifting forward. It's like a subway car that's been put up vertically. Sorry for my feet getting in the picture. It's not so easy to hold a camera in weightlessness and watch out for your body at the same time. We are now at the very bottom of the module. And I'm going to show you its top to give you a feeling of the distance we've covered inside. That's how big this module is. Next, I'm going to show you our Russian segment, and I hope you'll understand how big this station is and how many rooms or modules it consists of.
И как много здесь комнат, так называемых комнат модулей.
We are floating past the docking port.
This is the mating adapter of the functional cargo block, which was the first one flown into space as part of the International Space Station construction. It was like a foundation for the construction of the ISS. The Zarya module, also known as the functional cargo block, was launched into orbit in November 1998 by a Proton heavy carrier rocket. The 12.5-meter-long module weighs 20 tons. Initially, it was responsible for the control of the station, providing it with energy and maintaining the stable temperature. With new blocks added to the ISS, most of the vital functions were transferred to other modules. This is the device that ionizes the air on the station. It ionizes the air, cleans it, and enriches it with useful negative ions. And this is the module's exit hatch. Let's have a look inside the MRM-1 module that is docked to the mating adapter of the Zarya module. MRM, short for Mini Research Module, is a scientific laboratory, a storage facility, and a docking port for Soyuz spacecrafts at the same time. Having been delivered to the station in May 2010, it's a relatively new module. Stored behind these panels are a lot of different cargoes. Here are 2 fridges. The orange boxes host various scientific experiments. These are emergency packages. If an ammonia spill takes place on the station, we need to respond immediately, because breathing in that atmosphere for longer than 1 minute can burn your lungs. So in that case, we would have to put on breathing masks, shut off the American segment, and take other actions following a certain protocol. And over there is the Soyuz spacecraft that brought here Anton, Samantha, and Terry Virts, who is currently in command of the station. Soon, in 3 weeks, they will return back to Earth on this ship. Let's proceed now to the MRM-2. The ship that brought us to the station is docked to it. It's our lifeboat. Our Soyuz is a reliable and nice machine. And here are our spacesuits waiting for us. Further down is the descent module where we sit during the return trip. To lighten up my narrative, I'll show you how the Earth looks from the window of the MRM-2 module. You can see the solar arrays of the service module and the radiators of the American segment. Of course, the camera doesn't show you all the colors, everything a human eye can perceive. It's a gorgeous view, especially at sunset and sunrise. Same as the American segment, the Russian part of the ISS has its own module designed for spacewalks. Here we have 2 spacesuits, same as in the American airlock. Don't be surprised, my friends. I didn't clean up here on purpose. I wanted to show you the real life aboard the station. This is a towel. Over there, behind the spacesuit, we have fans. We put towels here on purpose to get them dry because they are completely wet after washing. This is the air duct. The SO-1 module has a cargo spacecraft docked to it. It's almost filled with garbage, and soon it will undock and leave. Another ship will take its place. Right behind the section with the cargo vehicle docked to it is the biggest lab of the Russian segment. Zvezda, also called the service module or SM. Both on the outside and on the inside, the module is fitted with a wide range of equipment. Here you can find photography equipment, medical devices, and means of protection for emergency situations. 3 isolating gas masks. Each one can work for an hour and a half. They will protect us in case of fire or ammonia spill. The word isolating refers to the fact that it has a special cartridge which, when activated, releases oxygen. It has enough oxygen to last you for an hour and a half. On the floor of the SM module, there are 6 windows that we use to take pictures of Earth. We place our cameras like this and shoot different objects. For example, right now there are wildfires raging around Cheetah City. Scientists of the Ministry of Emergency Situations charge us with taking images to enable a fast response. And this is a weigh-in device. Hopefully I will show it to you in action, but right now we don't have any tasks requiring it. When we'll be doing it, I'll show you how it works. And here we see crew quarters of the SM module. There are 2 of them, one on the port side and one on the starboard side. This is the crew quarters of Anton Scott Kelly. It has a window, whereas the one I live in doesn't. It's a huge deal, of course. I'll show you the view of the Earth from the window one more time. This is the view an astronaut gets when he wakes up.
And this is Gienna.
He's talking on the phone. Actually, he's trying to get through, as I understand. I'm trying. Here, I got through. Got through? This helps a lot. It's really nice when you can call your family and friends in tough moments. Gennady Padelka is the most experienced astronaut both in Russia and in the whole world. It's his 5th expedition. By its end, Gennady will set a new record for the time spent in space. Upon landing, the total duration of his expeditions will amount to 900 days. I will show you the Russian segment and the American segment from outside. Right now, we are looking out from the cupola. The cupola is used for work with robotic arms. This robotic arm allowed us to put together the entire partner segment, all of its modules. And the solar arrays were deployed using this robotic arm too. I'll show you some of the solar arrays and the true structure they are sitting on. Unfortunately, I cannot catch all of it on camera. The arrays are up to 50 meters in span. And the truss structure is 100 meters long with 8 huge batteries at its end. The external structure of the station deserves a tour of its own. On the outside, the modules are fitted with the most diverse equipment. The way it works and the role it plays in dealing with space garbage will be covered in the next episodes of our TV project.
So we've just had a tour around the station. You can see in this film that the station is very big. Now, you've learned a few things about how it functions. We'll continue to explore the station in upcoming episodes. You'll see everything inside. Do you remember Samantha and her sophisticated exercise machine? I'll show you Russian machines. You'll see how they work and how we use them. We have a fitness cycle and a treadmill. You will also see how we take a shower, how we eat, and many other things. So, to sum it up, my friends, I'll show you life in space. I'll show it to you as it is. I'll be waiting till our next meeting. Thank you, and goodbye. "15 minutes till launch." Copy, 15 minutes till launch. No journey to the space station would be possible without supply spacecrafts. They provide the orbiting complex with fuel, water, and air. They also deliver science equipment, medical supplies, and food for the crew. This is Gennady Ivanovich taking care of me so that I would stay full of energy. In the coming episode of our TV project, the ISS crew will show you how they meet a cargo spacecraft and prepare for a trip back home. You will sneak a peek at a space bathroom and find out how fast the spaceships move through the vastness of our universe. We are saying goodbye to Anton. Godspeed, guys. Here at the station, we are neither on Houston time nor on Moscow time. We use Greenwich Mean Time. All crew members, regardless of their nationality, use GMT. When we wake up in the morning, we start our day with personal hygiene routines, same as on the ground. Although weightlessness has a certain impact on that. Everything has to be done with the utmost care and caution. This is the place where we take care of our personal hygiene in the morning, in the evening, and after working out. So this is our space bathroom. Every crew member has this kit called Comfort, with all the toiletries we might need. You can see now what's inside it. It has everything you need to clean yourself, to brush your teeth, and so on. There are toothpicks, a nail file, a hairbrush, a hand cream, shaving cream, aftershave, a toothbrush, and toothpaste. Okay, so let's get to brushing our teeth. I'm taking out my toothpaste, no brand names, and my toothbrush. Carefully, same as on Earth, I'm applying the toothpaste onto the toothbrush and putting the toothpaste away to prevent it from drifting off. I'm getting a bit of water into my mouth from the drinking water bag. And get down to business. With light moves, I brush my teeth, same as back on the ground. Then I wipe out the toothpaste with a cloth and put it carefully into a plastic bag to be thrown out. I get some more water in my mouth for rinsing.
И выбрасывается. Далее еще набираем в рот воды, немножко пополощем.
We don't throw away wet napkins. They can be put here on a fan to get dry.
Она высохнет. Здесь кругом.
Water is circulating on the station like in nature. We have a regenerating system here that extracts water from the atmosphere. This water is then purified and used again. I prefer to start with shaving. And my choice is an electric shaver. Here it is, nice and easy to handle. I can fool around with it like this. Okay, I'm taking off the protective cap, put it in the toiletry case so it wouldn't fly away, and start shaving in front of the mirror. Gennady Ivanovich, though, is used to a different way of shaving, and he'll show us now how to do it in space. Each crew member has a razor and a set of razor blades.
Есть набор лезвий. Очень много.
And the cargo transfer bags over there contain a lot of spare razors and razor blades, a shaving cream,
Крем.
aftershave. I'm spreading the gel over my face with a light circular movement.
Наносим гель на лицо.
Next, I'm getting a napkin. Must be dry. I'm removing everything from my fingers. Right, Mikhail Borisovich? And then I'm carefully shaving off my stub. Everywhere. I'm wiping off both the gel and the stub with this tissue. Then I take a wet wipe and remove the remaining gel from my face.
Геля с кожи лица.
We use the same wipes in the morning to wash our face. Great. This napkin is wet, so I'm leaving it to dry up. That's because we have to fight for every gram of water on the station. The more water we save, not save actually, preserve. As the water is recycled here, there's no point in saving it. But the more water we preserve for a regenerative system, the less water has to be delivered here from Earth.
Земли. Вот бритье.
I'm finished with my shaving now,
Ну и
and as a final touch,
крем.
I'm applying aftershave.
Нравится он.
I really like this one.
Он заживляющий. Он
It's soothing and doesn't have a strong smell. Smells can irritate other crew members,
экипажа, поэтому
so it's better to choose something neutral.
нейтрально. Да, Михаил?
Right, Mikhail Borisovich?
Нейтрально, чтобы было.
It should be neutral. Exactly. So that's how we get about our personal care in the morning. Usually I also use a hand cream. The air on the station is quite dry because of the air conditioning system. We don't have enough moisture, so it's better to moisturize hands to prevent skin from becoming dry. At first I neglected doing that, but then I realized that it's a very important thing. I developed skin rashes and hangnails, but it all went away after I started using hand cream. Throughout the year, the ISS is inhabited by an international crew of 6 people. 3 of them are Russian cosmonauts. The rest are representatives of American, European, and Japanese space agencies, space tourists, or short-term visitors. The flight schedule ensures that a crew is replaced every 3 months. Today, our crewmate Anton Shkapelerov is flying back to Earth. He's been working on the station for almost 200 days, and I'm sure he misses his family, his friends, his home, and our amazing planet Earth. Anton, could you share with our viewers the feelings of a man who is soon to be back home after working in space for more than a half a year? I'm so far from that myself. The floor is yours, Anton. Well, what can I say? Naturally, at the end of the 6 months, I feel somewhat tired. But it's quite understandable. Although, we have some scheduled days off, and even several holidays, astronauts don't relax in their free time. They tend to grab a photo or a video camera and take pictures of the Earth and other celestial bodies. Do something that you can't do back on the ground. So of course, there's some tiredness. Emotionally, I'm in good spirits. The expedition is coming to its end after being prolonged for more than 1 month. So I and my crew completed everything we were supposed to do, and we are getting ready for the descent with a sense of accomplishment. I'm so jealous, Anton, but in the best possible way. Shall I maybe show our viewers what's happening outside the window of your quarters? It's a solar orbit, so nothing is happening there. There's only sun. As a good host, Anton is showing us the view, but unfortunately, we're on a solar orbit, so it's too bright. But you still can get a general idea. We are now in the mini research module MRM-1 that has a Soyuz spacecraft docked to it. It's the ship that brought Anton here and will take him back home. I'll show you the Soyuz, talk a bit about it, and explain how the crew is preparing for descent. We are entering the Soyuz spacecraft. This is its orbital module, also called BO. Let's see what's inside. The console here has a BO manual control unit, a pressure and vacuum gauge, and valve controls. This is a transfer hatch with a docking probe, a portable pressurization unit for emergency situations. It contains compressed air, some personal belongings of the crew, spacecraft documentation. During descent, the orbital module undocks from the descent module and burns in the atmosphere with all the waste inside it. We are now approaching the descent module. Here's Anton, the spacecraft commander, getting into his central seat. Just so you know, the seats are tailor-made. They are molded to the body of an astronaut at a special Zvezda factory called Zvezda. During descent, astronauts experience serious G-loads. They have to be distributed evenly. It's very important for prevention of any traumas and injuries upon landing. A person grows up to 2 to 3 centimeters in space, so we do special fittings before boarding to eliminate possible problems. We measure the distance between headrest and the head. It shouldn't be less than around a centimeter and a half. The width of a finger, as Anton is showing us. This is the allowance for a spacesuit that naturally has a volume of its own. This is the way we store our spacesuits. This is Samantha's spacesuit lying in her seat on Anton's left. And the spacesuit of Terry, our current station commander. They will have the spacesuits on them during descent. A very important thing to do before the return trip is to pack payloads in the descent module. As you can see, the descent module is very small, so every centimeter is precious. We are trying to fill all available volumes with payloads. There are special pockets all over the inner surface of the descent module where we can put different items. There's some free space here behind the main parachute, the backup parachute, and behind the commander's headrest. There's also a special payload container, quite a big one, under the commander's seat, but it can be reached only after the seat is lifted up. We are distributing payloads according to a special radio message which was prepared on the ground. Some items in that list are special. They are marked with orange color. Here I have an orange package of that kind. It's a bioecological calcium experiment. These packages are the last ones to be put inside, only several hours before the hatches are sealed. And of course, they will stay somewhere nearby so we wouldn't have to lift up the seat. They are also the first ones to be taken out immediately after landing. They contain experiments that either have to be put in a refrigerator as soon as possible or passed on to Earth scientists for further investigation. Among the things that we bring back to Earth are our personal belongings. Like this pouch here weighing 1 kilogram. It contains all my personal stuff. There are some photos and letters from friends and family. This is my youngest daughter. During these 6 months, they were warming my heart, reminding me of Earth and providing me with a sort of psychological support. That's it. Okay, guys, it's time. Let's go. Embraces, kisses. All right, bye. Bye. Good luck, my friend. Bye. Hang in there, Misha. It's just a year.
Misha, крепись, год.
Yes. I really enjoyed flying with you. I guess Anton go first? Okay, and then Samantha. All right, yes. Goodbye. Bye, sweetie. All the best. Good luck.
Do your best. Bye.
Bye, sunshine. Good luck. Did you make the photo? Yeah. All right, then. See you later. See you back on Earth. Bye. See you on the ground. Antocha, we still have contact via comms, guys. Good luck. Thank you. That's it. Is it closed? Did you close it, Anton? All right. Tightening it up. Got it. Several minutes still on docking. Checking systems D11. On. D15. On. D17. On. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Undocking achieved. We have separation. TMA 715 is pretty in departure. Observing the docking port. No foreign objects detected. Everything is nice and clear. Bye-bye.
Bye.
We are saying goodbye to Anton. Godspeed, guys. Anton, Samantha, and Terry are returning home. These are the last moments of their expedition. You can see the thrusters of the spacecraft firing, and the ship goes down underneath the station. 3 hours and 2 orbits later, the crew of Anton Scott Kelly is being met in the steppes of Kazakhstan. Anton, then follow me. If only you would always carry me like that. No back pains, no vertigo, or maybe just a little bit. Here's my report. All crew members feel well. The landing went down without a hitch, no injuries. We're prepared for further reconditioning. A mobile lab of the Institute of Medical and Biological Problems is being set up right there in the steppe. Some tests have to be made straight after landing. Then the astronauts are transferred with helicopters to the Karaganda airport, where a special flight bound for Star City is waiting for them. The astronauts are about to embark on a long journey of post-flight rehabilitation and adjustment to regular life on Earth after a long time of working in weightlessness. Of course, goodbyes are always a bit sad. We had a good working relationship with the previous crew, but closing one chapter means opening a new one. For more than 1 month, it will be just the 3 of us flying aboard the station, but then a new team will arrive. We are looking forward to seeing them, to getting new experiences. They are our old friends because we spent a lot of time training together on the ground. And their coming also means new work. But before meeting the next crew, Mikhail Kornienko and Gennady Padalka had to meet the Progress resupply vehicle. Today is an especially challenging day for the deputy head of the Russian Mission Control Center. The eyes of high-level officials, journalists, and the general public are fixed on the launch of a rocket carrying space cargo. Such a great interest was generated by recent unsuccessful launches of resupply vehicles. Last spring, an accident prevented a Russian Progress from reaching the station. A malfunction of the third stage engine resulted in the freighter flying higher than the nominal orbit. And in the summer, an American Dragon exploded soon after liftoff. All in all, this cargo spacecraft has been long expected by the ISS crew. "60 seconds till liftoff. All parameters of the carrier's rocket system are nominal. Third stage engine has successfully separated. The resupply vehicle started orbiting towards the International Space Station. The experts of the Mission Control Center in Karlov are at the top of their game. I can only describe this atmosphere as the highest concentration coupled with ever-growing tension. The docking of the Progress M28M cargo ship will take place in 2 days. The docking was performed automatically, and astronauts filmed it with onboard video recorders. It might look as if the spacecraft is very slow in its movement towards the station, but in reality, both objects are flying with the first cosmic velocity, almost 28,000 kilometers per hour, or 8 kilometers per second. It's 200 times faster than a car on a highway. And it's the smallest speed that allows the ISS to move along its orbit. Slowing down even a little bit will make the space station fall down. Today is a nice, joyous day. Finally, after a long break, a resupply vehicle arrived. The first thing we do is we open the hatch of the SO-1, the docking compartment to which the cargo ship has docked. We are leveling out the pressure using the valves right here, and then open it like this. And then we fasten the hatchway cover. You can see a number of connectors along the perimeter that hold the docking probe, which I'll show you now. This is a docking probe that allows both a cargo vehicle and a manned spacecraft to dock to the station. I placed it here temporarily to show it to you. It has to be dismantled after the docking because it's blocking the hatchway. We always take it off and then put it back on when the time of undocking comes. This is how it looks. See how easy it is to play around with big masses and microgravity?
Посмотрите, как легко можно играть массами в невесомости.
It weighs half a ton. Yeah, it's very heavy, but I'm rotating without any effort. That's how it looks. A unique product designed by Russian engineers. After dismantling the docking probe and opening the hatches, we start unloading the ship. The resupply spacecraft delivered equipment, water, fuel, air, oxygen, food, and home packages. Gifts from family and friends. The total mass of the payload is almost 2.5 tons. Water and oxygen are delivered with the help of these valves. We hook up our utility systems here, water pipes included, then water is pumped into water dispensers, food warmers, the electron system that generates oxygen, and wherever else it's needed. The crew is unloading the spacecraft, putting everything in its place. The directions as to where those places are come from the Mission Control Center. Ground Control sends us a special diagram that shows all these items and where we should stow them. So I select an item here and take it to the designated storage place in the SM module, FGB module, or whatever place is listed there. This is how we are unloading the supply ship. Carefully, meticulously, so later we would be able to find the items we need using the same database.
There are lots and lots of things on the station, and this database can literally save the day. The mission of the cargo vehicle doesn't end with the delivery of supplies into orbit.
It will become a working part of the station for the next several months. In some cases, even the engines of a cargo vehicle might be utilized. For example, when there's a need to change the altitude of the station's orbit to avoid collision with space junk. Nevertheless, progress has already served its main purpose. Today, Russian cargo spacecrafts remain the most reliable vehicles of the orbit range that have been providing the International Space Station with supplies for many years. Later, we will talk about how taste changes while in space. Crew members will show what they have for lunch and how they reheat their soup. And in the name of science, Mikhail Kornienko will put on funky pants and take the audience to the most unusual place on the space station. Of course, diving in there is an unforgettable experience. Follow me.